Well, hello and welcome to another edition of the Calvary News Show. Looking forward to get you updated on everything going on around Calvary. Got a lot going on, especially even this weekend. So let's get right into it and bring in Pastor Andre. Welcome, Pastor Andre.
Hey, Brent, good to be with you today, and glad we can get together this week with our church family by means of the Calvary News Show. I keep forgetting what the count is, but we're going to be moving toward 100 before long as we continue to make progress there. It's kind of been a sad week for the Dobson family, just because of the loss of Lou Ann's brother. Tommy was a member of our Calvary family, and he had lived with us in our home for the last 3.5 years, and very suddenly we lost him last Thursday. And this coming Friday down in Mississippi, we're going to be doing a graveside service for him, and then plan to be back Friday night because we got a full weekend of activities here at the church as well. But on Sunday night, we were able to get together for a really joyous occasion, and that's the Awana recognition. And it was so exciting to hand out awards to those kids, to see all the good work and hard work they had done, memorizing scripture. They had family members there to affirm them in that, and then had a great ice cream social after. So everybody had a good time. And it was special seeing what they had done and what they had accomplished this past year. So we're looking forward to the week ahead. I know we've got some special things that are happening even as we approach this weekend. And I hope you're feeling a little better than you were, knowing you weren't able to be with us on Sunday.
Yes, sir, I am. I'm sorry to have missed it, but thankful for everybody that jumped into the shoes there, and Josh helping with the worship, and then Miss Barb helped with the choir on Sunday night. So I'm sorry to miss the Awana awards as well, but just feeling much better and glad to be back and back at it. So still trying to get my voice back just a little bit, but that'll come. So with a little more water and a little more rest, but doing well, and looking forward to everything going on. But let's go ahead, I guess, and talk about the birthdays here for the week. Several more this week than in past weeks, but looks like nothing for today. But starting tomorrow, we'll say happy birthday to Christopher Duke and Rita Gwynn. And then on the 6th, happy birthday to Joshua Feldman and Martha Raby. And then on the 8th, happy birthday to Tyreka Caldwell and Christy Niemeyer. And then on the 9th, we have several now. Here we go. It's a bigger day. Roy Gibbs, Kathy Grapperhouse, Macy Hartman, Donna Heil, Cora Lucas, Stacy Morgan, and Frank Whips. And then to close us out on the 10th, happy birthday to Adam Jenkins. So happy birthday to all of those folks.
Absolutely. And my goodness, that May 9th was a busy day. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I picked the number 10, and that number fell on Christopher Duke. And so we've got a special gift for Christopher, wishing him a happy birthday, and all of those who are celebrating this week to come. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday to all those folks. And we've got a special day coming up Saturday, and it's going to be neat because it's the first time we've been able to have our ladies' breakfast for quite a while. So we're looking forward to that.
We've had a couple of years hiatus, and we're glad to be back celebrating on this occasion. And we usually pick out Mother's Day weekend to do this, but it's a breakfast for all ladies. And so we want you to come, bring your friends, bring your family. There have been many times throughout the years I have actually seen several generations sitting at one table. And I've seen some of those generations take two tables. So there's going to be a great breakfast. The men always do a great job. It's their privilege to be able to serve you. So that's going to be Saturday, May the 7th at 9 o'clock. And so we want to just show our honor and respect for all the ladies in our church, and looking forward to the opportunity. There'll just be a brief program. We just want you to be able to get together and enjoy some good food and some good fellowship, and to say thank you for who you are.
Yes, sir. It's always a great time. And of course, that's leading up to Sunday for Mother's Day, and just always a special day to celebrate Mom.
It is. And, Brent, I'm always mindful of the fact that some days Mother's Day can be painful for some. Some have lost their mother. For some, it's their first Mother's Day without a mother. I know a lot of ladies who have always wanted to be mothers. I was reading an article this week about all the people you need to think about on Mother's Day. For some of them, it's a little more difficult than others. But I think it's appropriate we have a day where we celebrate mothers. And when we get to the end of the program today and I share the thought for the day, I'm going to emphasize the importance of mothers and motherhood and the impact that they have on people, families, and generations for many, many years. And so we're looking forward to that. We're continuing with our sermon series called Uncommon Family, and actually going to be talking about parenting a little bit on Sunday. So we're looking forward to being able to gather for worship, and our schedule will remain the same: 8 o'clock, 10:30 worship time, and then 9:15 life groups in between. So in advance, let me say Happy Mother's Day, and we'll get a chance to do it again on Sunday.
Yes, sir. We certainly will. And now, tied in with Mother's Day, we always tie in our baby bottle campaign. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
We certainly do. And we're doing something a little bit different this year. We had a more extended time to be able to collect the offering. There's an offering that goes to our local crisis pregnancy center in the Metro East area called Thrive. And we've been supporters of this for many, many years. And the baby bottle campaign is one of the major ways that they raise funds. But this year, we started a little bit earlier. Pastor Wade shared a message in January on Sanctity of Life Sunday, and we decided to introduce the campaign then and give people an opportunity over these past months to collect money in these baby bottles. And we're asking you on this Sunday, Mother's Day, to bring those in. There's a crib that's set up out in the lobby, and all you have to do is put that baby bottle with change, or as some people say, with soft money in it. And every dime of that will go to support the Thrive Crisis Pregnancy Center in our area. I'd mentioned my brother-in-law who passed away a few moments ago. On Friday night, Luann and had gone to a program, and so took Mia with her. And part of the plan was for me and Macy to stay at home and try to do a little straightening up and cleaning up. And so we went down to Tommy's room. And when I got down there, there was this huge container full of change. And there were 3 baby bottles sitting next to it. And so he was already prepared to fill up those baby bottles and bring them on Mother's Day. And so I looked over at Macy and I said, okay, let's finish Uncle Tommy's job for him. And so she took that change out of the big container and filled up a couple of baby bottles. And then we had enough to put into a 3rd baby bottle. And we're going to bring those in his name on Sunday, because it was obvious he was preparing to do so. And we want everybody to be involved in that on this coming Sunday.
Yes, sir. And that's always a great thing to involve the entire family in. And I hope you've been doing that, but looking forward to seeing what comes of all the baby bottles that we're collecting, and just a great ministry to support as well. Now we've got our next senior adult luncheon coming up here in May on the 19th.
Yeah, not too far away. And I'm just going to throw it back to you. I'm interested in 2 things. What's the program, and what are we going to be able to eat?
Well, being out for a little bit and being away in Branson, I'm not even sure about that. I'm gonna have to check with some people, but it's always good to have a little surprise. That way people are not knowing what to expect. And our lunch team always does such a great job, and I think you'll enjoy the program too. But I won't really let you in on that quite yet. But I hope that you're ready to go and ready to sign some people up to come and join you. Be sure and help us spread the word. We've had good crowds last couple of times, but I know there's several people that just no matter how many times you seem to advertise it, how many times you seem to say it, someone says, I can't believe I missed that luncheon. When did we find out about that one? So let's be sure and spread the word and let people know on the 19th to come and join us. That's going to be a very a very special time together as we look forward to the summer. And we've got some things to announce on that day as well. But we're going to wait until the luncheon itself. But we've got a fall trip coming up that we're going to talk about, just to kind of give you a little sneak peek about that. And so we're excited about that. And of course, coming up in June, we've got Vacation Bible School, and we've already talked a little bit about the VBS volunteers.
Yeah, and I would say, first of all, if you have children or grandchildren, I think registration opened up this past Sunday, May the 1st. So get them signed up as soon as you can. You can do it online. You can call into the church office. You can sign them up on Sunday. But especially in terms of the workers, we need folks who are willing to volunteer. Sometimes you have folks that were planning to serve. I was listening in staff meeting this week to somebody who's got some medical issues they have to get addressed, so they're not going to be able to do what they were hoping to be able to do. So we always need workers. And I'm hoping by this time next week, I'll have a list in my hand. I think Sally and Mary's preparing that for us, just to say, okay, we need 3 workers in 4th grade, or 2 workers in 1st and 2nd grade, or whatever it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, here are the workers that we need, and I'm going to expect you to run to your phones and immediately volunteer and fill up all those slots. So anyway, we'll let you know more of the specific needs, but you can actually preempt that by just showing up Sunday, stopping at the table, signing up as a worker. As we all know, it's a great week for the children. It's a great week for adults to be involved. What a special investment in the lives of these children, especially when it comes to the gospel. I say this a lot, but the #1 soul winning tool in our Southern Baptist Convention is Vacation Bible School when it comes to children. And so it's such an important week, and we'd love for you to be a part of that.
It's just always been such an important part of ministry. And you're right. I wish we could go back through it at some point before we get there again and give the statistics of how many people came out of Vacation Bible School being called to preach and being called to be in the ministry. And Vacation Bible School has made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And I hope that we'll understand that and remember that as we volunteer to serve. There's a place for everybody. There's always something that somebody can do. And so I hope that people are getting signed up for that and ready for that to make a difference here at Calvary once again. That brings us to our thought for the day. And I kind of enjoy this one and enjoy this person being talked about every once in a while. So why don't you go ahead and share with us what you have to share?
Well, the thought for the day comes from a guy named Billy Sunday, and he was a former professional baseball player. God got a hold of his life. He became an evangelist, preached all over the country. I have actually seen, Brent, old videotapes of him speaking. And he was kind of a firebrand in his day that led a lot of people to Christ. One of my favorite stories of Billy Sunday, who was kind of an unusual character, was a guy who came down and challenged him at the end of a service. And he said, I don't think you can prove one verse of that Bible that you preach out of. And Billy Sunday, quick as a flash, reached over and grabbed him by the nose. And he turned it as hard as he could to the right, and he turned it as hard as he could to the left, and the man's nose began to bleed. And, you know, think about that today. We would get arrested for assault. But Billy Sunday opened up his Bible, and he went to the verse that said, surely as the churning of the milk brings forth butter, the wringing of the nose brings forth blood. He said, do you believe it now? And I've laughed at that for many years, but quite an unusual character, to say the least. But he had a lot of great things to say, and this one is about mothers. And here's what he had to say. There's more power in a mother's hand than a king's scepter. And, you know, I got to thinking about that. We think about powerful people, and people think about Hollywood, and people think about professional athletes, or people think about kings and queens and prime ministers and presidents. And we say those are the powerful people in our world. Well, I want you to know probably one of the most powerful people in our world is a mother. And the care and the nurture that she provides for her children often sets the course, the path for many a child's life. Has godly influence in their life and can literally change the direction of their life with her leadership and her guidance and her care for them. So I think it's appropriate we celebrate mothers this Sunday. And as we kind of look around at our world and people kind of pop off about what they think power and influence is, I think about these social media influencers, so-called influencers we have today. If you really want to see power and influence, just look at a good and godly mother. You'll find it.
Yes, sir. That's true. And thank you for that word. And thank you, Calvary, for tuning in once again. Hope you'll be in prayer over the next few days for the Dobson family as they travel and spend that graveside time with family and putting to rest Brother Tommy. And he was a special guy, and we're going to miss him. But I just pray that you'd be with the family this weekend and praying for them, but also looking forward to all that God's going to do this weekend at Calvary through our ladies' breakfast, through celebrating Mother's Day, continuing our sermon series on the uncommon parent. And we pray that God will use it in a great way, and just looking forward to all that he's going to do, looking forward to seeing you there. And of course, we'll look forward to seeing you next week right here on another edition of the Calvary News Show.
On the